As my director is busy asking me, what did married men do to us? We need prayers, intervention, and then some. It's a lot. It's a lot. But children, however, are not necessarily born out of marriages. Some women just have kids when they're younger. Some women have kids out of wedlocks. Some women have children in wedlock, but end up raising those children on their own. And all of these women have one thing in common. They've all had babies. And of course, I have no insight whatsoever except from what I read. So Turi will be the yardstick for this particular conversation about postpartum, and even more specifically because I think it's something that she went through. And now she's sighing because she's going back to a dark place that I am putting her in. For you, it's okay. Turi.
Yes.
You've spoken about this on the show many times. You've had experiences with
Postpartum depression. Yeah.
What was that like? Guide us through what it feels like for someone who doesn't understand what's going on with them, but they know something is wrong.
If I had a time machine, there are things I would do differently. But some postpartum depression takes different, meanings to different people. There are people who just don't feel connected to their child at all. They just feel like this is a stranger. Why am I being forced to raise this stranger? I don't feel any connection to this child. I don't feel like I love this child. I don't feel like this child loves me. And it's just a very intense relationship. But at the end of the day, it just lasts for all of a few months. And then you're like, wow, why did I go to that place? Other people, postpartum depression comes in, what has happened to my body, or this feeling of loss. Like you're grieving. Because let's be honest, you are grieving, if you're being honest. If you compare yourself to when you were pregnant, to when you now have a child, it's a very traumatic experience. So there's bound to be a lot of, emotions involved. But now, there are things you need to do so that you don't fall into these spaces. And this is self-care. Because let's be honest, after you have a child and a newborn, all the attention goes to this child. Even people who are visiting you, they bring you things for the child. They bring socks, they bring bibs, they bring everything for the child. Nobody ever remembers the mom. The mom who has gone through this very traumatic experience, the mom who is up at 3 a.m., the mom who's just holding it together. They never, think about, they're just like, this is something women do. Women are expected to do this and come out smiling because are you not a woman? Many have done it before you and they've been successful. What's your excuse, And then there's this, our wasichana wa siku hizi, they're always being depressed. My mother never went through this. And we're like, yes, she did. She really did. It's just that you never saw it, And a lot of people are hiding it. So first of all, talk about what you're feeling. That is self-care in itself. Ask for help. Say, you know what? I've been up since 3 a.m. Somebody needs to take care of this child. I need to take a nap, Self-care is also saying, I'm going to take this shower right now because I have gone for like 2 days. I haven't showered. Because the minute this child goes to sleep, you're out here, you're boiling bottles, you're sterilizing cups, you're doing all these other things. You take a hot nap on the couch, the child is up again. Unapata 48 hours imegonga, you have not taken a shower. That is going to take a toll on you, like personally, because you're not feeling attractive anymore. So it's very important to practice self-care. It's important to take that shower and, make it last longer. Yeah.
Another thing that I think is very, very valuable is people can get overwhelmed. I've seen this happening a lot with people getting overwhelmed when you have just gotten the baby. You did not have the crib ready. You did not have the baby stuff ready. Like you only stocked up on one kind of thing. You were expecting a baby girl, you got a baby boy, like Turi here.
That's me.
And everything was pink. And now you have to
You have a pink child.
You have to reorganize everything and figure that out. And that's suddenly going to get boy clothes. Well, children's clothes are all the same.
Yeah.
To be entirely honest, you can raise them.
He was a very cute
in
baby.
Pink,
yeah.
And you can raise them in yellow for all we care, as long as they're comfortable. But like getting a few things ready, for example, those baby clothes, don't expect for people to be the ones to bring you these things.
True.
That's ill preparation. I mean, people go to Gikomba and buy baby clothes in stacks soak them in Dettol and the fabric softeners and all of these other things to get these things ready for your kid. It doesn't have to always be that expensive item of cloth that you saw somewhere, easy biashara streets, and you're constantly trying to go there to buy one outfit for 2,000 shillings. 2K can get you a lot of clothes in the flea market, right? But you have to be prepared to do these things. You have to do some things like, you have a cat or you have a dog. Surely this dog and this cat are going to probably go crazy because there's a new thing, there are new smells, you've already interrupted their lifestyle. So like things like when you're in the hospital, try and get your husband to bring some of those used baby clothes into the house so that the furry friends and your cats and dogs start to adapt to the new smell of the baby so that they're not erratic by the time you're coming home. And another very important thing, we all know kuna shakura yenye unapenda. There is that food that you really, really like. However, will you have time to buy that food or make that food when you just got a baby? Oh, hell no. At that moment, you're just trying to take a shower every 3 weeks, you know?
Exactly.
Like, you're really just trying to survive, you know? Barely sleeping, whatever. So if you can do small things like that, like get yourself some treats. If it's ice cream, get your favorite ice cream and stock it up in the fridge. If it's food, make it. Freeze it, put it in the freezer, and let it stay there. The one day that you will need to have that food and you're just dying to have that, guess what? You remember it's in the fridge and it's one thing less stressful, you know? So just try and get yourself as ready as possible with as many things done before that you're not panicking and running around like a headless chicken.
And I think another reality we fail to, realize is life moves on. Just because you had a baby does not mean that the world stopped and everyone is going to cater to you.
Oh, no.
Life moves on. In the time, even your best friend, when you're free, when you were pregnant, you used to be free the whole time. Amepata internship. Iyo wiki, bedhe.
Yep.
Mtoto akuja na hizi baraka, inahonga baraka watu wengine because this person who you're expecting to be help, you know, this girl is always around. In your mind, you're like, she's always around. She's going to help me. Hiyo wiki unapata boyfriend. She's never here. Anakwambia, oh, my new boyfriend took me to Watamu. And you're like, damn, girl, did you have to have a boyfriend when I had a child? So you need to assemble your support system very early and establish it very early. And talk to them. Don't just assume that your mother will be there. Mom, I'm calling you up. Don't just assume that your mother will be there.
Mama Turi disappeared.
Mama, okay,
well,
all I'm saying is, yeye ni mama wa kanisa, okay? Mambo ya kanisa ni mara kakua. I'm like, girl, even, taking care of your grandchild is God's work, okay? You need to turn it down in the church and bring it home. So assemble your support system very early and tell them, I'm having a child, this is my due date, I'm going to need this help, and I'm going to accept it. Please, help me. Ask for help. Don't be afraid. Just ask for help.
Another very important thing is, like, like how I was jokingly telling you that I've joined a couples group for our couples counseling. Is it called couples counseling? Premarital counseling. Oh yeah, guys, I joined premarital counseling.
She's getting married. Wow.
Yes. So basically, they really advise you to join a group of other people who are in the same situation as you, because guess what? These are the people who end up being your friends later on when you're going through the same things around the same time. So you're able, if it's like you're on drama mode, even them, they're probably in drama. So you're all just dramatizing everything together and so on and so forth. In the same way, guess what? Other new mothers are in the same boat as you. More often than not, you find that you're going through the same waves. True. You know, you got your babies day one. Guess what? They also got their babies day one. And you're going through different situations. How you deal with these situations is going to be different. Guess what? If they have found a better way to deal with that versus how you're dealing with that, then they're a very, very solid space of information for you. You're going through it together. I was shocked to find out that babies' heads can actually stink and their hands can smell of Parmesan cheese, stuff like that. I wouldn't know that. So you're like, my baby's head is stinking and you're wondering what's going on, and you hear it's cradle cap. Guess what? She knows because she had a baby. Your baby's hands are stinking like Parmesan cheese.
They're always holding
because they're always holding, and then
so you wash the baby,
but you forget
never
to wash their hands. Small things like this. How would I know? I would never. But someone who's gone through it probably has. So find a support system with other mothers who have either just gotten babies or have had babies, because they always find a way to give you the answers that you need.
And I remember, especially with my postpartum depression, mine used to take the form of paranoia. I was very paranoid, especially when my child is crying all the time. I'd be like, oh my God, they're going to take away my baby. Like, this child is always crying. They are going to take away my child. But who is they?
That is so scary, yeah.
Who is they? So I used to be very paranoid, and it would be immediate anxiety when my child starts crying, because I'm like, ooh, okay, they're coming. They're going to take my child out. So it's very important when you have other moms and you're like, why is my child always crying every 2 hours? Like, do I need to supplement with formula? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do this? And, you know, when moms come together, they'll always have a way to make it fun. And also another thing, gatekeeping for visitors, please. Not everyone should come into your house when you have a child.
Nope.
Those relative aunties, people who traveled far and wide to come into your house, not everyone should come into your house, especially unannounced, uninvited. Please, you need a gatekeeper. You may not always be able to say no, so you need a partner who will say, no, you're not accepting visitors at this time. You need a sister who will go to the family group and say, my sister is not receiving guests. You know, you need your partner to go to the family group and say, my wife is not accepting guests until this time, yeah.
Yeah, and if you come at these specific appointed times, it's very helpful. And as we wrap up, another very important thing, if you have other children, please find a way to orient them so that they're not feeling jealous and trying to throw the baby in the toilet like I did. My brother was almost gone. He was almost gone. I did bad things to that boy. I'm sorry, Brown.
I was playing. I walked in. I saw this new kid. I was like, huh. And I just walked out and went back to play. I was like,
there we go. Exactly. Please find a way to make your children adjust to the information of a new child coming, especially if they're really young. Care for your body safely. I've seen people saying corset training 2 days after you've given birth.
Do not do that.
Are you mad?
Don't
Are
do
you
that.
mad? Make sure you're getting information from the right sources. Put yoni tablets in your...
Do not do that. Let things just play out as naturally as possible.
Yes, you can resolve them much later, but like, don't be forcing your body to snap back like Beyonce
and even
in 2
say
days.
Wait maybe 4 months before you actually go back to the gym, because I started, you know, I was in a rush to snap back, and that's how I ruined my knees. Like right now, if I was to do a squat, we would end up in hospital because I just busted my knees. Because at that time, you're calcium deficient. You know, there are a lot of things that are going on with your body. So please, don't be in a rush to go back to the gym. You'll end up like me, please.
And finally, as we go home, always find a way to do something for you. I hear people saying that, oh no, I can't leave my baby. Oh my God. If somebody comes and tells you, can I take your baby for the day? You just go to the movies. Take it, accept it, and go and enjoy yourself, all right? That day, pump the milk, do whatever, drink.
When I started doing that,
it helps.
That was the beginning of my freedom. When I started saying, children don't go everywhere. I used to be the babe who would go with my child anywhere, everywhere.
No.
Tuko gym, mtoto wangu wako hapa, niko hapa, you know, and just allow yourself to leave that child at home and go do things individually, please.
Absolutely.
Go watch a movie, please.
Go watch birds. Tembea Karura Forest.
Tembea.